A Radio Evolution, Akron, Ohio, 1955. WAPS began as a teaching tool used in all Akron public school buildings through the 1970s. 1984, WAPS-FM moved its broadcast facility from the Akron Board of Education to its current location at the Ott Staff Development Center. The station's modern rock format was adopted in 1986 with programming hosted by high school and college student volunteers. In 1988, WAPS rebranded as The Summit, modifying its programming to the album adult alternative format still heard today. In 2000, the first professional paid on-air hosts were introduced. In 2011, two important new community service channels were introduced for youth and adults in recovery. Soon after, this summit added other hyper-local community services supporting area musicians and public school children in need of musical instruments.
Being played on the summit, I feel like there's just a sense of excitement, because all of our friends and extended fans and family base listen to the summit. So I get so many texts and phone calls every time one of our songs plays, We're listening to you right now, it's super exciting. I always really appreciate that.
It's been so good for our outreach of new fans, especially in newer areas like Akron and Cleveland and in Youngstown even. A lot of people are still listening to radio, and that has been the biggest platform for us to get our music out there and heard. And more and more we see people all the time at our shows and singing our songs because they've heard it on the summit.
As a hip hop artist, it helps because people hear you next to a rock song or next to a folk song. And so when they see you on a show with a bill that has like a lot of different genres, it makes more sense to them, like, oh yeah, this is just music. It's just different mediums of things that we're expressing ourselves through. And the Summit does a great job of making that easy for people to understand because a lot of people don't.
And I think having a station that supports that and kind of puts allows us to have a platform to be heard and to really build our individual projects and whatnot is huge. And we couldn't do it without that support.
Today, the Summit serves tens of thousands of listeners, members, underwriters, local and emerging musicians, and community partners with a creative program roster unlike other regional or even national public radio models.
I think 91.3 brings a lot to our community, both resources for students to get experience, to bring the community together, also working with Youngstown and other areas now, I think is very important for our Northeast Ohio region.
I think that the Summit is a glue that binds. It's something that when you're in Akron, you can speak to anyone, anywhere and say, oh, did you listen to the Summit this morning? Yes, I did.
They make everyone feel like they belong. It's a very unifying organization.
I've been a volunteer for a long time. And back when I started, it was a way to get more involved with like the music and maybe, get there to the show. But right off the bat, it really became about the friends that I made volunteering as well. And I have friends now that I consider lifelong friends that I have met through my affiliation here with the Summit.
We're always moving forward, always looking for ways to improve the community and improve what 91.3 The Summit does for the greater Akron area and of course our affiliate areas as well.
There's so many experiences that have made this one of the better decisions of my life. You get to see people that you never would see up close, like the Pixies, but you also get to meet people who are life-changing, like the Angie Hayes Project.
The new Ellet Community Learning Center opens this fall and will be the home to the Summit, continuing its unique legacy of service to the community.
But then the icing on the cake is with college and career academies at Ellet, we'll be able to have our students, participate in some of your work so they can learn that craft and that trade and potentially, make careers out of that, because we have, some post-secondary partners that have those majors at the college level. And I think it's just a win-win. You get kids interested in what you're doing and you're at a school location. And so I think that's good for everybody. I think it puts some excitement into your staff at the radio station, and some excitement with our students and teachers at Ellet. So it was kind of like, you know, all the stars lined up, and it enables us to really do some good work.
Our Elevate campaign is raising capital funds for the station's move and for the station's long-term programming. The new station will feature more space for the growing station and team, 2 recording studios, 4 editing suites, and of course, a new Studio C for our popular members-only concerts.
Just everywhere we go in the community, you guys are there, and I love that. I love that you support the community so much, and especially love the local bands. That's really awesome.
As longtime residents of the 330, there is no better way for us to connect with our music than by listening to and joining 91.3 The Summit.
Please join us in supporting our community and our music through a gift to the Elevate campaign.
So we hope we've convinced you to support the Elevate campaign. You know, the station is so unique and so important to this community. We hope you'll join us in our big move this year. This is the biggest year in our station's history. Please do consider joining us in the Elevate campaign.